Hey guys, what's up? And it has finally arrived. Yes, I just got back from a 4-day cruise to the Bahamas, and I would wake up in the morning and turn on my phone and go on the internet and see where this package was located. And it arrived, it was supposed to arrive at 3 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday, on Monday, and it didn't arrive till 5:45. By 5:45, it was all over. I had to force myself not to open it because I really wanted to do the unboxing so you guys can see it for the first time, and so I can also see it for the first time. As you know, I had ordered the Smiths Everest from Timefactors, and they have since, well, according to the website, they have changed the bracelet on it. So I'm excited to see the bracelet on the new model. Also, the old bracelet looked like it was just too massive for 36 mil. And of course, I have a 7.5 inch wrist, so I'm a little nervous on how this watch is going to look on me, but I'm a little also okay with it because today, wristwatch check, I'm wearing my CWC, I guess you want to call it also an homage from CWC to their CWC, because this is the automatic version. The original one had the manual wind, and this sucker is 36. So if you look at it, let's see if I can put it in there you go. So it's 36 mil. So, and it looks good on my wrist. Now the question is, how will this look on my wrist? I'm 80% sure that it's going to look awesome on my wrist. I don't think it's going to look too small. Personally, I don't like bigger watches. As you all know, I have my Steinhardt Oceans 39 Vintage GMT, and that's a 39 mil, and I really love that size. I also have my 40 mil Omega Seamaster 300 from 1969, and that looks good as well. And I do have a Speedy that is 41, I think 41 or 42. I should have brought it with me so you guys can see it. And that one is starting to get a little bit too big for me. But I'm thinking that this 36, I'm trending to smaller watches now. So I'm thinking this 36 is going to be just perfect. And I'm so excited to see this watch because, as you all know, is it Edmund Hillary? Sir Hillary and Norgay, is it Norgay? Yes, Norgay, the Sherpa, they went up Everest and they took 2 watches with them. One was a Rolex, one was the Smiths. And Timefactors, a gentleman that runs Timefactors, he bought the name for Smiths, and he created an homage, if you will, of the 1016 Rolex Explorer. But of course, it's got the Smiths, and it's called the Smiths Everest. So one of my grail watches is the 1016 Rolex Explorer, but that sucker is, they start at like 15, 18, 20 grand. So that ain't gonna happen. Hopefully one day I'll find one hidden in a used couch I bought at the thrift store. But until that day happens, I'm going to have to stick with homage. Or eventually you will see, I will be creating one that has that feel of the Explorer. As you see, I have my little trusty knife here. I don't need a big knife. Small one will do. So it came in UPS. It came here pretty quickly, and of course UPS just threw it over the wall. So, but it's a pretty tough watch, I believe, and I'm very excited to see. I don't even know what the Timefactors boxes look like. So that's going to be also new to me. So here we go. Ready? Here we go. And it's a white box. Awesome. So let's put this over here. Wait, something else in here? Yep, nothing in here. So, Edward Platts. He's a gentleman that runs Timefactors, and he's the one that does all these designs. And thank you, Edward. Hope you feel better. I know you've gone through surgery. So let's open this sucker up. Timefactors first. We pull this up, and here we go. Here's a picture of the Smith Everest, And if you can tell, that is the old bracelet that's back there. So obviously this is quality watches on the net since 1996. So it's pretty, oh, that's kind of cool that he also includes the engineering diagram on there. And the movement, I believe, is, well, no, I don't believe. I don't know what. Oh, here it is. It's a Miyota 9015 24 jewel automatic. Now, Miyota is, you know, some people hate it, some people love it. Some people are okay with it. I'm okay with it. So I would have preferred an ETA, but the Miyota is actually a decent workhorse as well. So I'm fine with that. Here's another nice little engineering drawing of the case itself. So that's always nice to have, especially for me who I like to build watches. So there we go. This is going to be the second Timefactors. The second, not the second. This is going to be number 2 of what I believe to be the perfect homage collection. Number 1 is, of course, the Steinhardt Oceans 39 Vintage GMT. Number 2 is Timefactors Smiths Everest. So let's open this sucker up and see what's going on. By the way, this case is actually kind of nice. I really like the red stitching on it. Very car-oriented looking. But I've always liked to have these because I like to take 3 watches with me when I go on trips. And this is probably a 2-watch holder. So you wear one, you have 2 in here. And here we go. Okay, well, see, as I said, 2-watch holder. Let's flip this sucker. Oh, it's still covered. You still can't see it. And we get ourselves the international guarantee from Timefactors. Smith Everest 36. Date of purchase. This watch is covered against any defects for 24 months from date of purchase. So 24 months. That's awesome. So let's put this here. Let's just put it there. Gosh, I really like this case. This is really nice. I know I'm keeping you guys from seeing it. Comes with a little tiny cover. So Timefactors since 1996. And the bracelet. Okay, so far it's looking pretty decent. That clasp still looks kind of big. And there she is. Ah, yes. Look at you. You're so pretty. Wow. That's very nice. You don't really notice the size of it until you actually hold it in your hands, the 36. So if you put it next to the CWC, I think the CWC has greater mass because of the case than the Smith Everest. I do love how the Everest is kind of sort of, you don't see it, but you do. It almost look, you know, it's kind of cool because it reminds me of when you're looking up at the mountains and they're hidden behind the clouds. It has that type of feel to it. Very, very nice crystal on top. Smiths Everest. Okay, so I don't think mine came with the original buckle that it came with from the original ones. This is not the new one. This is not the new. I thought he was going to change this guy because this thing is massive. But it's okay because I was expecting that most likely I was going to get, since I was one of the first to order it when it was available. So I decided to, you know, from the beginning, I was going to put this on a NATO strap. So I'm okay with this. God, this thing is massive, this bracelet. Yeah, you know what? This bracelet does not do this little watch justice. It actually takes away from it. It's just too massive. So I decided to bring out my nice little Bond NATO, which I will be putting this guy in the Bond. I think this is going to look really cool on there. You know what? I don't know. Maybe this one will look a little bit better on there. I'm going to have to test them both out. But everything's nicely wrapped. Everything is protected as it should. So the good thing is I can use my tool to take off this band pretty quickly, which I am going to do. So guys, bear with me while I remove this bracelet. Man, it's a big bracelet. I don't understand why it's such a big bracelet, but it doesn't matter because I'm going NATO anyway. I was planning to go NATO with this from the beginning. So, okay, guys, I removed the bracelet. As you can tell, it's solid end links. It's a well-built bracelet, but it just doesn't. This sucker doesn't belong. Sorry, this sucker just doesn't belong with this watch. And here she is. She is. She's very pretty. Okay. So Smith's 100-meter water resistance. One of the things on my trip, I wish I would have gotten it before the trip. Yeah, it does move a lot, that little Miota. You can hear it a lot, but it doesn't matter. It's an homage to a 1960s watch, 50s watch. So I'm very pleased with the way it looks. I kind of love how buttery it looks. I guess that's a good word. I don't know if that's a good word or not, but it's just, it really gives me that softness about it. I like it does remind me a lot of 50s watches. It's you know, it's not a sharp edge. It has a nice shape to it, if you will. I'm a little bit of a loss for words today, but it's this is what a Rolex Explorer is probably going to look like. Yes, I'm taking everything off it because I love it. Oh, there you go. Very nice. I can't wait to see it out in the dark. So, let me put it next to my hammy so you can kind of sort of gauge the size of it. It's 36 and 36 as well. The dial definitely looks a little bit bigger, but I think that has to do with the crystal on it. Makes it, you know, kind of look just a slight bigger. But lug to lug, so let's get the measurements out of the way. So we're talking, of course, 36. Let me see if you're on the screen. Yeah, 36. And thickness is 11. It's 11 thickness, so it's going to fit underneath anything. And of course, the lug width. Let me guess. It's 45. Oh no, man, it's actually a lot smaller than that. Let me see. This is frustrating. Okay. There you go. That's about it. So I'm talking, yeah, you're looking like about, 43. So it's actually a little bit, let me see what the lug width on this guy was. Wow, it's even smaller. So that's kind of weird. Even though this looks bigger, this is actually longer lug width than this guy. He's at what? He's at 42? Oh, yeah, 42. And this is 43. So there you have it. 36, 11, and 43. So okay, let's put the sucker in a NATO and see how she looks. So we'll start with a bond NATO, and then maybe I'll just put this NATO on and just flip things around a little bit. So hammy goes off. Actually, you know what? Let me put them side by side. Okay, these lights are just like really pissing me off. So we have to kind of put it at an angle. Let me zoom in a little bit more on this guy. And that way you can kind of sort of see the Smiths. So it's definitely, with the problem I have with the W10 case is that I don't see it too much as a case that you can wear with a suit. I mean, you can, but it looks a little too sporty. This, on the other hand, I think fits the bill when you're wearing a nice dinner jacket or, a nice long sleeve shirt. It actually looks pleasant with it. So let's put this sucker on. Oh, that's right, the lug width. I believe it's 20. I'm hoping it's 20. Yeah, it's 20. So you can tell, see, right there's 20. So let's put this guy in. And she fits nicely. That khaki color kind of works well with the loom. Let me see, let me put this guy in here now. Yeah. Now it's looking the part. Now it's looking good. Let me zoom out a little bit here. Yes, much better. I'm starting to get happier now. I wasn't as pleased in the beginning, but now I'm starting to feel a little bit better about this purchase. This doesn't work. This definitely does. I have a RAF NATO that I think I want to try on this one too, which is this type of color, the inside color. So you know what? Since we're here, you know what? Let me put it on my wrist first. And let's see how this looks. Let's do a wristwatch shot. Oh, it definitely wears comfortable. Yes. Let's put it in. Yeah, this is going to be a strap monster. And there she is. Wow, what a pretty watch. I mean, I can see why. It's a slow burn. It's a slow burn with the Explorer. I can totally see why it's a slow burn. I already feel like I'm going to fall in love with this watch. I'm not in love with her yet, but I can kind of sort of see why people love this watch so much. Well, the 1016 Explorer. And this is, of course, being homage to it, but this just works. I mean, it feels right. I don't know how to put it. It's not too tooly, but yet it is a little bit tooly, but it's a little bit classy as well. I love that. I love the way the Everest in there. I just love the way it, when the light hits it right, it kind of comes out and says, hey, look at me. My name is Everest. Wow, this looks really nice. Okay, you know what? Let me switch the NATO because I'm not sure which NATO band I want on this guy. So far, the Bond looks really nice. I'm not being too technical today. Yes, when you open up the case and you see this big bracelet, it kind of threw me off a little bit. I'm pretty sure you guys could tell by the way I was talking about it because, of course, this is a 19, so it's kind of hard to get things out of there. But once that bracelet was up, you know what? I wish I would have gotten the new bracelet. I thought he was going to include the new bracelet for these guys, but I guess not. I guess I got one of the older ones, which is just fine. Okay. Let me move this around a little bit here. Yeah, that's about it. Put it in here. Okay, you know what? I think I like the Bond better, but let's see. Let's put it on the wrist. Wow, I don't know. I don't know which one I like better. This kind of tones things down, if they can be toned down at all, but this kind of sort of tones it down. And I mean, looking at it, I like the way it pushes it up off your wrist. It kind of sort of says, hey, look at me, but not really. It's much more toned down with this strap. Now, you know what? Now I got to put on the Bond strap again because I don't know. Now that I know how that looks, let's see how that Bond strap looks again. Where'd my Bond strap go? If it was a snake, it would have bitten me. Okay, here we go. Let's put on the Bond strap one more time. Yeah, I'm really starting to move to the smaller watches. The big watches can be kind of cumbersome, and I understand the purpose of them, especially if it's a tool watch like a dive watch. But the reality is, it gives a totally different character. The Bond, it really does. I like the Bond. That little pop of red in there, it's kind of nice. So I think it's gonna. Oh man, I don't know. There's something. This makes it look more sportier, if you will. This makes it look a little bit more. This one makes it look a little bit classier. You know what? I'm going to go with this one today because I'm not feeling sporty. Sorry, I keep going from one band to the other. That's classic. Anyway, not the best reveal of the watch because I was a little taken aback by this big ass strap, but it is. I'm beginning to understand why people love the Explorer so much. And now that I see the Smiths Everest, I'm going to lust over the 1016 just a little bit more, but it's okay. I do want to get myself the newer Explorer because it just, even though I love the vintage look on watches, the new Explorer, there's something about it that just tweaks my interest, and I really want to try it out. Yeah, this band is definitely it's suede, so it's not going to get scratched, people. So relax. So here we go. Let me put it on here. Ah, yes. There she is. Let me zoom out so that way you guys can get a full hand shot as well. Again, 7.5-inch wrist. This thing is going to be a strap monster. I can't wait to try my other straps on it. And it's beautiful. It doesn't interfere. It doesn't get in the way, but it's just, I mean, it's so intuitive just to look at it. I mean, Rolex really hit it out of the park when it came to doing the design of this watch. And Edward Platts, you know, kudos to you for bringing this out because it is a beautiful watch. I love it. You definitely need to look into another type of bracelet for it. But right now, until you come out with another bracelet, she will be on a NATO from now on. And it looks beautiful. It looks subdued. It looks classy. Classy. You know what? That is a word for this watch. It's a classy watch. I love it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this small video of this unboxing. I'll have a review on how it wears in a few weeks. You know, I want to give it at least a month of wear time and see how it feels after a while. But now I really like this watch on the NATO. And until the next one. But to be honest with you guys, I was taken aback when I first opened it. And now that I look at it, it's really starting to grow on me. I can't wait to, you know, just wear it for a couple of weeks and see how it feels. It's a beautiful watch. I highly recommend getting it, especially those of you that are 1016 wishers, if you will. I guess if you want to go with Grail watch, because this is going to satisfy that itch. And you know, at 20 grand for the 1016, I'm never going to get one. So I am happy and content with this Smiths, and it has a history behind it, and it's an homage, but I think it's a nod to the two watches that went up to Everest, the Smiths and the Rolex, and I'm happy that Platts did this because nobody else is doing this, not that I know of at least. I mean, it's a classy watch. I really like it. I really like it. You know, I'm a sporty guy, so I've always felt uncomfortable wearing really fancy watches. So this kind of fits that bill where it's a tool watch, but not really very fancy watch. So let me just go over a couple of the specs about the movement itself. It's, you know, I've mentioned earlier, it's the Miyota movement. And, you know, originally this movement comes with a date, but this one doesn't have it. So let's see how the action goes on this one. We got to set the time. I think the time is like 10:30 something. So it's a little sandy when I pull it out. It's not the smoothest. Let me put it back in. Nope. There you go. Let me put it back in. It's a screw crown. So you turn it back. Yeah, I can kind of sort of feel things moving inside. It's not buttery smooth. It does pop out. The first click is the date, which doesn't have it. Second click, it's a hack. So that's nice. And just moving it around, it's actually pretty, it's not bad, it's not bad. It's not very smooth. I think let's leave it at 1035 for right now. But, you know, it's, let me wind it. I don't know if you guys can hear that. That's too close. Kind of grainy feeling. It's not as smooth as the Steinhardt, the ETAs. The Steinhardt website, you go back and then you go forward, and that's up, back, and then forward. And that's how you lock it up in place. There you go, she's locked up nice and tight. 100-meter water resistance, which is all you need on a fancy watch like this. So, and let me go ahead and put this back on. Just put it back on the wrist. It's, so, I mean, it fits me just right when it comes to having a watch that I want to wear with a suit. I wish that I had a better bracelet for it. I'm going to start looking around and see what I can find bracelet-wise for it, because I enjoy wearing bracelets because, you know, I do everything with my watches on. I never take off my watch. Even, you know, unless I'm on a NATO, I won't take off my watch because I don't like getting the NATO wet. It's just uncomfortable to wear a wet NATO. So I am going to look for a, I'm sorry guys for the shaking. I am going to try to find a bracelet for this guy. I don't know yet what I'm going to get, but I'm going to need to study it. So, you know, the caliber, again, is Miyota 9015 automatic winding, 24 joules. Let's see, the movement height is 3.9, frequency is 4 hertz, 28,000 BPH. Power reserve is 42 hours. And, well, since I wear it all the time, I don't really care about that. And, of course, as you all know, it's made in Japan. So, it's I can't wait to just live with it. You know, I can feel it growing on me. But let me take it out to the car and drive around, check out the time, and see how everything feels. Let me push this in a little bit further. I don't like the way it's sticking out like that. So, all in all, guys, I was a little taken aback when I first opened it up. And once I removed the bracelet, it started growing on me. Then I put the NATOs on, and I really started seeing why this is such a great design. And of course, I ended up, I took off the bond was a little bit too much for me. I might wear that if I'm, you know, I'm on a yacht. I'm sailing across the sea. I'm going to try to find a black, I don't have a black NATO, so I'm going to get a black NATO for it as well to wear it at night. And once I find a bracelet for it, I'll try it out and I'll put it on YouTube and see how it looks. And I am excited to test this watch out. Guys, if you have an itch for a 1016 like I did, this is going to fit very nicely. Eventually, I am going to get myself an Explorer. Probably, after looking at this size, yes, I'm going to stick to it. I was thinking about getting 39, but I like the 36 size. So I'm going to stick to the classic 36. And eventually I'll get one of those, but that's, you know, that's $5,000. So that's a way away. So I got too many other projects and 3 kids and wife and a house and a mortgage that I have to pay for before I go off and spend $5K on a watch. Besides that, I like racing, so I like to use that money for racing. But just looking at the watch, you want to see the time. It's very intuitive if you look at it. I like the 396, and if I were to design a watch, I would design it, I would probably say pretty much like this guy. They really got it right when they first came out with this design. And I'm happy that it's being made. There's something out there that is quality. The case is beautiful. The dial is beautiful. The hands are great. The movement, I prefer an ETA, but I'm happy with what I have, the Miyota. And I really think that this watch is going to be with me for a long time. Maybe once I get the Explorer, I most likely will hand this down to my eldest or my middle guy or my little guy. I don't know which one. The little guy's the one that's really taken to watches, so maybe he's going to get it. And then I'll start wearing the Explorer. But this really satisfies my itch of the 1016. Guys, I haven't done this before in the video, so I'm going to say, if you like what you see, please subscribe. Why not? Be number 4 subscriber. Let those millions run in. It'll be wonderful. But until then, guys, yes, please subscribe. If you have any comments, just put them down in the comments list. I'm hoping to get a little bit better at this as I go. And until the next watch.